Sorry. Sorry. Well, you didn't hear me say something weird then. I was saying that I said something weird. I said, good morning or good evening, no matter where you are. And then I said, wait, that's strange to say no matter where you are. I should say, depending on where you are. But anyway, you can hear me now, right? Yes, good. Okay. I suppose so. Yes, let's build an Evangelion today. Shall we? Aha. Do you guys think anyone else crash into the earth? Is my voice higher pitched? I don't know. Does my voice sound strange? Yeah, I don't really know what that is. Hang on. How about now? It could just be because of the internet, something like there was some lag, so it was speeding up the audio. Prime 92 with a better mic. Oof. Moose, man. How does it sound now? Does it sound like better now or what? Normal now? Okay. Good. The old unplug it and plug it back in again technique. Ah, yes. I wonder if that's gonna die out. You know how like they say it's like what 80s and 90s kids all know about like the whole, you know, blowing in your game cartridge for like your Nintendo or Nintendo 64 or something like that. When it doesn't work, you just take it out and blow in it. But like later, like Gen Z kids don't know about that. I wonder if the whole like unplug it and plug it back in again thing is gonna be like that as well sometime later. Because I guess once everything, like more and more stuff goes wireless and Bluetooth or whatever. I don't know. Just a little something to ponder about this morning. Gotta get a straw. I hate drinking ice. Alright. I work in IT and that's 90% of my fixes. George, 90% of your fixes is just unplug it and plug it back in again. Well, at least your job's made a little bit easier that way. I mean, it's gotta be frustrating, I'm sure, but hang in there. Alright, Eva01. So yeah, I want to build up the LM kit here first before the RG. If you guys saw the recent video, I did get the RG here finally at long last, but also got the LMHG kit here. So I want to check this out first, then we can compare pros and cons. I think they're gonna be, you know, obviously I think I'm anticipating the RG to just be better, to win out over the HG kit, but I don't think it's gonna be like a complete total knockout, you know what I mean? Because there are certainly pros to the HG. I think the HG is a little bit cheaper, but not by much. And the HG is also larger, so some people might like that. Some people might prefer that the HG is a little bit larger in size. So, let me make some camera adjustments here. So yes, it'll be interesting to see how everything stacks up. You know, so that's like kind of the basic thing: price, size. This one is pretty detailed, but you know, anytime comparing a HG to an RG, you know, details and like articulation is gonna certainly come into play there as well, which I'm sure the RG will have all the advantages there. Let me see. I want to just make a little adjustment here, if I may. The brightness looks kind of okay, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it's okay. The neon parts are a little bit blown out, but yeah. So here's all of our parts. Is this the one with the rubber arm? Yes, this is the one with the rubber arm. That's true. So that's also my concern for this kit is how's the arm gonna hold up? We'll see. I think like it'll probably work fine, but you know the question is how it holds up over time, because I can imagine that that rubber over time is gonna get kind of like gummy, and especially if you have it in any sort of direct sun, so you'd want to avoid that. And this does have a few, like, not new pieces, but kind of alternate pieces. So I was checking the runners, and they're like, some of these parts, like the very last runner is came out later than the others. So like there's a few parts in here that are basically just like different versions of the same part from a previous runner. So you had all the parts for this kit, and then I guess a few years later after that they re-released it and some of the parts were changed, like for example this one here, and it's barely changed, but you can see like this neck piece here, this is the old one, this one, and it's very slightly different in shape and slightly longer, so I'm guessing maybe they shortened it up a little bit to improve the articulation of the neck. So some things like that, or like for the arms, just while we're on the topic, we'll see this later when we build the arms, but I'll show you here. No, not that. Come on. So this is the part that we were going to use. It has this kind of diamond shape part symbol on the shoulder, and the older part that we're not going to use is this one here. So it's a little bit different shape for that. So I'm guessing the kit was updated. And I was checking, and I think there was 2 versions of this kit that came out. There was like the original version, and there was like the frame version or something that came with like a launch pad, I think, kind of. Cody, LM stands for limited model. I don't really know why. They're not like P Bandai or like limited release or something, but I do know that it stands for limited model. Alright, so we got this neck piece here. RTK, yes, I'm still living in Korea. And let's see. This piece, not that one. This one, no, not that one either. Where's the piece that I'm looking for? This one. Yes, and then one more. Kind of like opposite of that. The problem is I don't know what color the piece that I need here. I'm not sure what color it is that would be helpful. I'm trying to find it. It's from the E runner. The E runner was green. That one. There we go. That part is like that. And let's see, eyes. This little guy here. And this one like this. It's like the little hatch, basically, for the entry plug. And this one here. Snap. No inner frame. Hi, happy watching everyone. Damn, need to check you say. Hello everyone. I haven't said my hellos, so hello Weapon X69. Alvin, Spooter, Q, One, Joseph, Gail, Cyril, George. Hello everyone. So that goes on there like that. I think that's right. It looks right. Egg Roll Gang, hello. Hi, I'm Korean here. RTK, hello. A fellow Korean. Do you think Shinji gets 01 Mother's Day card? Oof. Good question. I don't know. So you build like a couple of these sections here, and then we build more on the neck, which that's oh, that's another new piece. This one on top of the back of the neck there, and polycab G goes into this piece here. Down there. There you go. The neck fits into the front of here. So, as I said, I've not yet built the RG01, but just from my experience building the RG Unit 0 last week, similarly, although not equally, the RG of course is more complex, but this one is also slightly complex in the construction of this here. So I kind of have to really take my time. Oops, I put this part on upside down. Hopefully it's not going to be hard to take off. It was kind of hard to put on. Oh damn. It's on a very thin piece too, so I'm really worried to break it. I'm trying to pop this off here. And there's like no good way to grip these parts to take it apart. Damn. That's stupid. Alright. Let's see here. We're humans. We can use tools. And what happened? A piece came off. But not the right piece that I wanted to come off. And where did that piece go? Did that piece just disappear into somewhere? Where'd it go? Oh no, not only did not the piece that I want to come off, but the wrong piece came off and disappeared to somewhere. Where did that go? Fuck. It's like on me or something, right? In the process, I also stabbed myself with my tweezers. That's cool. So where did that piece go? Uh-oh. Now this is just gonna turn into the search for the lost piece. Did you guys see where it went? Aha! Gotcha! Fell on the floor. This little guy. But these are the ones that I need to come apart. Well, maybe with that piece off, maybe this will be a little bit easier to come off there. Thanks for that little stab in the finger. How can I get this off without damaging this? Because it's the kind of piece where like you can't, it has to like pull straight off. Because any way to like bend it wrong and it's gonna like damage the part. Come on. Alright, nothing broken except my skin, which is okay. That can grow back. Plastic, on the other hand, we can't grow back, so. Alright. Thank you, Bandai, for the very clear manual. The instructions were just perfect. I appreciate that. I guess they were kind of clear enough that I just wasn't paying attention, I suppose. Anyway, alright, let's close this up. There. Phew. So can we close this now or what? Need to put this piece in here first, I guess. Oh, and you're not gonna stay in there. Is that right? So you have to weave this gray part into there. Pop that down into place, okay. And we can put in our entry plug, which goes in there like this. Not sure ever going to be able to get that out once it goes in, but we'll see. So close up that, and then close up that, and then slide that down into place, and there you go. Alright, well, okay, there's that anyway. What is Dan with the plan? Just to reiterate, LMHG is a line of HG kits that Bandai was putting out earlier. Yeah, limited model HG. I don't really know why. I don't think they were limited release. I don't really know why they called them that, but there was a couple of old LMHG Gundam kits as well. Like there's a LMHG Leo and a Taurus and Daughters. I think just 3, right? Is there any more? One of you guys will know, I'm sure. But is there anything other than the Leo, the Taurus, and Daughters? I think that's all. And they're all relatively hard to find. You can still find some floating around, but they're a little bit harder to find. Old Eva kits are seamline monsters. Yeah, I'm wondering how bad the seamlines are going to be on this. We'll find out soon enough, but alright, there's that. Then this one can go up underneath there. I think limited edition, but Halo 2. Limited edition. Huh? Was that a joke there with the Halo 2? I don't get it. Was Halo 2 like limited edition, but not actually limited edition or something? The rubber arms are terrible. Oh no. Well, wish me luck then. Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be, I mean, the kit overall, just from cutting out the parts and everything so far, doesn't seem that bad. But yeah, I think the real make or break on it is going to be, let's see, what the, hang on. Is the underside? Yeah, the real make or break on this is going to be with the arms, how good or bad those are. And yeah, I'm Not expecting them to be very good. Is that on the other way? Shoot. Sorry. I was supposed to put this other part in first. God damn. I don't know why, I'm just like, the instructions for this kit are just really throwing me off. Oops. And broke a peg there. Good on me. Was supposed to put this part on first. So that goes on there. Not really sure how important that was really to go on first, but that goes on there like that. And this one on here, yeah, I already broke a peg off that. Good thing it's got 2 pegs. Don't need both, I suppose, but then that goes on there like that. Okay, so there's that section. Then we need to do the same thing with the other side. Willis, what's going on? This guy, this kiss, so far, it's doing me a little bit dirty, but hanging in there. We can just get through the torso. It was the same thing with the Eva 0 RG kit. Like, building the torso was kind of pissing me off. But then after that, it was fine. And now, oh, there's the. I was looking for the piece that was right in front of me. There he is. And let's do this first this time. Put that on here. Like that. Okay. Then this one. So these, which one's the front and which one's the back? This is the front. So those slide into there like that. And these parts into here like this. I mean, for an HG kit too, I mean, HG by title at least anyway, it's a pretty complex construction here, at least of the torso. I mean, again, as far as HG kits go. Let's see, one, we need this piece like this. Okay. These orange. I'm also interested to see how the colors are going to compare, because the colors, especially the green on this, is like a super like glow in the dark bright color green. It's really hard to describe it. I wonder how it's going to compare to the RG. I haven't popped up in the box of the RG yet to take a look. But curious to see how it's going to compare. This one here. Unfortunately, no red orb for this guy. Goes here on the front of the chest. Here we are. Good neon green. Yes. So what's going on with you guys? Do you guys wear a dust mask when sanding? At least for me, if I'm sanding resin, yeah, then I'll always be sure to wear a dust mask. Sanding plastic, sometimes. Not every time though. Probably should. This part here for the neck is just kind of hangs loose until you get the head attached onto it, apparently. see, I'm just going to jump ahead for a moment. Load these parts on the back here. There and here. And then on the front, let's see, alright, we got this one here. This neon piece fits onto the front of here. This one first. Let's pay attention. Purple one on here first. Right, like this. I think that's right. Not super well. It's easy enough to tell in the manual once you like look at it for a few seconds, but if you're like me and kind of just glance at the manual very quickly, it's kind of hard to get a sense of the shape of the pieces because the shape of these pieces is so like odd. But anyway, here we go. So did those, oh yeah, those do move in and out with the shoulders. So when you move the shoulders back, these like front chest plate parts will move out to the side there as well. Or I guess those can move kind of on their own. There you go. So that's cool. Then going around to the back, you can put these on. Here and here. And then this one here. For where the umbilical cable is going to attach. And then this one over the top. And our torso is done. Okay, very cool. The top of the torso anyway. The chest is done. Chest and neck. Lower half of the torso will come a little bit later, but we'll build the head here next. Oh, and I wasn't really paying attention. I don't think there was any stickers with that. Where'd the sticker sheet go? Whoa, sorry. Just smashed the mic there with the box. Aha. Yes, so I think the stickers are only really for the eyes, the shoulders. I think those go like on the knuckles. Where do those T-shaped ones go? Willis, on average, how long does it take you to nip and sand a kit for an MG? For an MG, are you talking like full sanding, like to prep for painting, or like just getting it just ready to be snapped up for review? I mean, it's kind of hard to say with MGs because there's a lot of range. For like a more complex master grade is going to take a little bit longer, of course, but is that not the right piece there? It seems like it is. Do you have to glue that? It seems like I have to glue that. Does that fit? Does that actually fit in there? It does fit, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna stay there. Is that gonna fall out? Yeah, it is. Do I need to glue that? I think so. This red part up in the top of the mouth there, like the inner teeth. Oh no. You can push it in a little bit tighter actually. Okay, so it shouldn't need any glue. Alright, cool. Wasn't really too worried about it. If I had to glue it, that's fine. I could always just pop it out later. Wouldn't have been too big a deal. If it starts coming out, I'll just put some glue on that. Will you review the P-Bandai HG Gundam 04? Yeah, the 04 I've already got all built up. Actually, I didn't live stream build it, but I already built that up last week. So it's all built. I just need to record the review for that. Maybe, what day is it today? Today's Wednesday, so maybe tomorrow? Possibly. Let's see. Polycap, I was doing, yes. Polycap goes there. And to this mouthpiece, which we have. Oh, there should be one other tiny little piece for the mouth. Where did it go? I have a feeling a tiny little piece for the chin. I think it may have made its way into another section, so I think we'll have to find that later. In the meantime, I can put the head together without it, but it'll just be missing that little chin piece. As long as it's not lost. It's a super tiny little piece. When I was cutting it out, I was thinking like, oh, man, this thing is gonna get lost. Just random things, how am I doing? I'm doing fine. I'm actually feeling a little bit warm. I think I'm gonna turn on the aircon here in a minute. Come on. Get in there, you. Ragey Gamers, I wanted to know how easy or hard it is to carry things you brought from one store to another in Japan. I want to eventually go to Japan and get Gunpla and other Plamo. Thanks. And Mike Jones, hello. How hard is it or easy to carry stuff around when you're going around in Japan, like especially when you're going around in Akihabara? I would say it. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, especially like if you are going. I mean, if you're just going around in Akihabara, shopping around in some stores, if you're not carrying like massive bags, it's not too bad. But if you're buying a lot of stuff, it's gonna get really annoying. I mean, it's just annoying carrying around massive bags of stuff anyway. But a lot of the shops, are pretty like tight, close quarters, so you're gonna be kind of just having a hard time getting around the shops without just like bumping into everything and everyone, which will be kind of annoying. So yeah, that'll be a bit tough. What do we want, the white or the orange eyes? I'm gonna go for, what do you think guys, white or orange eyes? So there's a couple of recommendations for you guys. If you are planning on if you're planning on staying in Tokyo for any length of time, or at least a couple of days, and if you're planning on buying a lot of stuff there in Akihabara, my advice to you would be to get a place to stay very nearby there. So, if you buy a bunch of stuff at one store, before you go to the next store, you can just pop back to your room and leave your stuff there and then go back out. But also you need to consider if it's a place that you can leave your stuff. If you're staying in like a capsule hotel or something like that, or some sort of like hostel, you might not have like a proper space to keep your stuff. So it's something you need to consider as well. My other advice would be to use the post office. If you have a whole bunch of stuff that like you don't want to have to ultimately carry around, you could just take your stuff to the nearby post office and just pack some stuff in a box and send it to yourself back at home. Is an option. And I did a video on that, and there's a post office where you can do that very nearby there. I'm gonna go with the white eyes, guys. Let's see. This bar fits over the head. And then slots back into place. And also, where's the part for the top of the head? How did I... How am I missing like a couple of pieces now for this section? Okay, hang on. See if I can find the tiny little piece for the chin, which was runner E, so it should also be a tiny little green piece, right? All the pieces are here. I know I cut it out, so it's got to be in here. Yeah, I think... There it is. It was just hiding here. And also... The piece for the top of the head also I put in the wrong place, so now there's a new one and there's an old one. I don't know which one is the correct one that I need for this, but I think it's this one looks right. This one looks not right. This one looks like it's like got the eyes like more wide open for if you've got it in like berserk eyes. Let me just do a little test here, if I may. I was kind of goofed when I was getting all the parts ready and put some parts in the wrong place. Is that even gonna fit on there? Not really, but yeah, that's definitely the top of the head for if you have the larger eyes in place. So anyway, that means I missed cutting off the nubs on a couple of these parts here. Super little teeny tiny piece here for the chin. There we go. But fortunately it does seem to be a pretty tight fit there, so I'm not too worried about that falling out. Seems pretty good. Make a warehouse. Do you think Yuzugono store Yuzugono is wrong for giving a 10% discount for July 4th, even though there's a 24/7? I don't know. I don't think they're wrong for that. Could they have had a larger discount for July 4th? I suppose so. But I'm not in charge of that, and they also don't have any obligation to. I mean, I suppose some of you, I'm sure, would have liked to take advantage of that. Alright, and we got, let's see, this sticker here for the fin. It's kind of curious that even though this is like a reproduction of this kit, they didn't, I'm not sure where exactly this sticker is supposed to go, because it's not actually very clear on the fin where this is supposed to wrap around. But that looks pretty good, I guess, about there. So yeah, this is the like new production of this kit for like celebration of the upcoming release of the 4th film. Where does that go? Does that go there or there? I guess it goes here. Like that. There we go. But it's kind of strange that for the sticker sheet, because, you know, unlike the older kits, the stickers are not numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they're numbered or lettered, I guess, with the Japanese katakana. So if they were just re-releasing this kit, it's kind of strange they didn't change the sticker sheet to have just numbers on it instead of katakana. Just something to think about. Raphael said, just got into the stream. As a strict HG builder collector, is the LMHG worth it so far? I find the RG too detailed and don't have much time to work on that. So far it's good. Yeah, I mean, so far it's cool. It's also larger than the RG, but we are not yet to the section of the build which seems like could be the most problematic, which is the arm. So gonna build the arm right now, and then I can probably maybe better answer your question as to how worth it this kit is or not. But I would say, I mean, if you're worried about just the time it takes, there's not, I mean, so far definitely the RG has more parts, but it doesn't seem like considerably much more. I mean, this, for an HG, this has a lot of parts, so yeah. Yes, and let's turn on the aircon. It's getting 25. Let's go with that. All right, so yeah, we need to remove this part actually. So this is the part in question. It's like an RG style frame where you have the frame kind of like pre-built for you, but it's also got this layer of like this soft rubber around it, which so you need to take that part off and this part off. I'm glad I removed the nubs on those parts. Easier said than done. So after removing those parts, and this part here on the side too? Really? I need to move that up, and I don't know, just take that out. Okay, so you need to remove that part as well. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Need a polycap D. Can you do a review on any HG kit you like? Can I do a review on any HG kit that I like? Colin, I guess yes. Sort of, like if there was a kit that I wanted to review and yeah, I just check with Adam and yeah, basically. Why? Is that just asking out of curiosity, or is there a kit that you have in mind that you would like to see built? Okay, let's pay attention to which way this goes in here. This polycap and this piece here. Alright. Zaku, is the SD Senanju a good figure? The SD BB Senshi Senanju, yes. Oh no. The SD EX Standard Shinanju, no. The BB Senshi Shinanju, yes. So that goes on top of the arm like that. Okay, snip snap into place. And the green bits on the side of the arm here. Review RG Force Impulse. No, Sebastian, I won't be reviewing the RG Force Impulse. I opted nit on that. I just don't really like the design of the Force Impulse usually. Sometimes, like the HD Revive kit was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. And I talked about this, I don't know when that was, sometime fairly recently. I talked about this because the Force Impulse is weird for me. I usually don't really like the design, or I like the design, sort of, but every time I build the kit I always like it. Like I built the Master Grade Destiny Impulse Blanche, which is based off of the Force Impulse. It's just one of the Master Grade Impulse variants, and I loved that kit. And I built the HD Revive, and I really liked that kit. But still, just something about the design just doesn't really do it for me. So I'm always like not really interested in reviewing the kit. But every time I build one, I do end up liking the design. I do end up liking the kit. So I don't know. Anyway, the point is, the Real Grade especially, I didn't really like the design, because they kind of like buffed it out a little bit for the Real Grade as well too. It's like looking a little bit more buff. Maybe it's just me, but didn't really like that aspect of the design. And so I thought there's also not going to be any real reason for me to review it. If you guys want to see a review of the kit, I'm sure plenty of other reviewers have already taken a look at that kit, or already have, or are going to, or whatever. So you guys don't really necessarily need my input on it as well. So yeah, I just skipped that one. Gojira, who is your inspiration? Who's my inspiration? I guess that, I don't know. It's a tough one. My inspiration for what exactly? Like for Gunpla, or like YouTube more generally, or like just my life? I don't know, that's a really hard one because I never really thought about that. And I think just now that I'm thinking about it, I think it would be really hard for me to say, because I don't know if the people that would come to mind, I'm not sure if I would really say are necessarily like inspirations to me, but like more just people that I admire, and I don't know if there's a difference between that, to be honest. Like admiring someone or being inspired by someone. I think inspire you would mean like someone that motivates you to do something would be inspiring, right? Would that be correct? Whereas like admire is just like, you know, someone that I can like sort of look up to, almost sort of like a mentor, or someone that I aspire to be like. And then is that different as well? Aspiring to be like someone. Well, I can just tell you, at least when it comes to like YouTube, I don't know if I would say that there's any particular like Gunpla YouTubers that inspire me just because of what they do on YouTube. I'd be more inspired by like what they do by modeling. So like for example, I think I would say that Lincoln is certainly an inspiring person. Yeah, I still don't know if that's exactly the right word for it, but Lincoln for sure. just because I just really admire his work and just like his approach to his work and everything. So no closed fists with this guy. That's kind of disappointing. But yeah, Lincoln is certainly one. Oops, what the? Just as far as like other YouTubers as well too, like not modeling related at all, but I do quite admire PewDiePie, and it's probably like seems very generic, but I think, I don't know. If you're a fan, then you can probably understand why. If you're not really a fan, then it probably seems like kind of a dumb answer, but do you work with scripts, or are you just freestyling for every review? Any advice for overcoming nervousness on camera? My advice for overcoming nervousness on camera is just to keep at it, and you'll eventually get more used to it. And no, I don't ever work with scripts. Probably to my detriment, because I tend to ramble and repeat myself. So working with scripts would be good, and a few times I've not really tried to work with scripts, but I've tried to at least just kind of make an outline, or at least like a list of like some things that I want to be sure to cover in my review or something, for example. And yeah, I don't know, I feel much more natural, or just much more comfortable just going kind of off the cuff, because like I know what I want to say, but it just sometimes like forget stuff or remember it later, or just again just end up repeating myself because I just want to make the point really clear, and I feel like maybe the way that I said it the first time maybe was not clear. But also, and I think I just prefer the style too of just not using a script, because then it I don't know, for me at least in my mind, it feels more less like that. It feels less like I'm just reading a script to you guys, giving a speech, but more like if we were just like in a room together, sitting down talking about this kid. This is like the conversation that I would have. This is what I would say, just as like a normal person, or two people just having a conversation about the kid. And so that's kind of the vibe that I want to come across, and so that's why I like not using a script. Let's see, someone asked, Gerardo asked, what do you think about Henry O'Clennan? I like Henry. I've interviewed Henry here on the channel before. He's a cool guy. I'm not sure what he's up to recently. I haven't really seen what he's been up to as of late, but yeah. Henry's cool. Henry was obviously very, I suppose the right word would be inspirational. Henry was very inspirational for me and a lot of people getting started with making YouTube content. Have you met Mekagai Katsu? No, I've never met him and never talked to him at all, actually. Yes, of course, working with a script is also better if, yes, you want to incorporate more memes in your reviews, which I'm also not I'm just not interested in all. I know, like, for the viewers, that's kind of like more fun and funny, I guess, and a lot of people like to get their daily dose of memes and all that, but it's just not me, and I feel like I would just be like, it would just be too fake. doing that. That ain't me. Sorry. Yeah. But pretty much every other gunplay YouTuber, like, I know at least to some degree. Like, I've at least had some conversations with pretty much everyone. Never talked to Mecha and never talked to Strider Prime. Or not Prime 92. Strider Prime I have talked to, of course, multiple times, but Strider Prime and Mecha, no, I've not ever spoken with them. Would you ever consider interviewing Mecha Gakatsu? Not really, just because of the fact that for my interviews I like to interview, you know, the interviews are not related to necessarily like content creators, but more modelers. This is not, some people are going to probably take this as like throwing shade or something, which I'm not. I'm just saying that I just prefer the interviews to be useful content for people who are interested in modeling, and I don't think that he would be, the right person for that. So that's why I hadn't really ever thought about it. I wouldn't really consider that. If you know what I mean. Full armor unicorn or force impulse for MG. That's a tough call. The MG force impulse or full armor unicorn. Both are great for completely different reasons. If you want the kit to just look cool, just standing there and doing nothing, then I would say get the full armor unicorn. But if you want to do like cool action poses and stuff, then the force impulse. I guess my question to you would be like, what are some of your favorite series? Like if your favorite series are like 00, Seed, Iron Blood Orphans, then you probably will prefer the Force Impulse MG. If your favorite series are like Zeta or Unicorn or Original Gundam or something like that, you see stuff more, than you probably would prefer the Full Armor Unicorn, I guess. But it's a kind of generalization, but that would be my guess. Then subtly getting one of my friends into model builds. Dianju, again, just thank you for using the super chat there. Getting one of your friends into model kits, and by subtly I mean having kits sent to their place. They're built Lord the Nubs. So you've been trying to sneakily get one of your friends into building Gunpla. Well, that's cool. However you got to do it. Are they just like not interested in, like, have you tried like just straight up approaching them to like, hey, let's build some Gunpla together, and they're like, no? Or why are you just curious as to why you're taking this approach? There we go. I can say too for this kit that the hands are gonna, they seem, I think they're all like a little bit like softer material, and let's see, yeah, they're just not, these hands are not gonna stay together well. You're definitely gonna want to glue them in place. They're just like falling apart every time I touch them. Oops. Yeah, literally every time I touch them, the hand's falling apart. But there's the kind of upper body minus the torso, so we're getting there. let's build the midsection next. Yes. Have fun getting a Shokyu? Is that directed to me or someone else? I'm not interested in getting a Shokyu. But are they like really super hard to find now? Maybe Bandai was... Maybe like the pre-order sales were going like so badly for that they didn't produce very many. Do you have a sticky note on your left elbow? It's not a sticky note, it was the sticker sheet was stuck on my arm there. Yeah, sorry. I really like the look of the gun easy after watching Victory, but not before. Yeah, that tends to happen. Stuff like there's designs that you just don't really like, never really paid much attention to, and then after watching the series, you get to like it a little bit more. That certainly happened with me too. Not with that particular design, but with other stuff. I actually have not ever finished watching Gun of Victory. I made it, I don't know, to episode 8 or 9 really. I don't think I even made it 10 episodes in, but... And then I just kind of stopped watching it. Not for any reason. I don't think I was like... Just like... This sucks. I'm not gonna watch this anymore. But... I don't know. I just got to doing something else and just like never really was interested in finishing it. PCG. Do you like the Thunderbolt series? Yeah. I finally caught the live stream on time. De Haven du Hast. Let's see. Just got into the game, but have a great time watching and enjoying the content. I'm hooked. Only took me 40 years. Well, glad to hear you're enjoying building Gunpla. Dion just said they typically work on D&D minis, so they already have the tools for plastic and paints, however. Okay, your friend. However, I do need to teach them some of the fundamentals like nub cleaning. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So your friend's already kind of into modeling, but just a different kind of modeling. I liked the ground gun and the EZ8 more after watching 8th MS Team. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening as well. Egg Roll Gang said, would you say an LED lit PG like the Exia stands out more than a PG with the huge presence like the Strike Freedom? Or would it be the other way around? It depends. It depends. Are the LEDs on or not? Because I think that would be the determining factor. You would have to turn the LEDs on every time you wanted to show someone or something. And let's see. This is right. I don't know. Let me just go back to that question because let me see. Yeah. Also, I think you're asking about the difference between a big PG like the Strike Freedom or something, or like the Perfect Strike, I guess would be another example, versus something like the XCR or the Unicorn that are lit up with LEDs. Presence, I think you're just referring to like shelf presence as like what's gonna stand out on your shelf, and I don't really. For me personally, I don't really like to consider that in terms of like which kits I want to buy or build or whatever. I think it's just in my opinion, I think it's better to just look at the kits as they are on their own. rather than like how they're going to appear on your shelf. It's just kind of an odd thing for me. Like, is the kit gonna look cool, or are you gonna enjoy it as the kit itself? Like, how it looks amongst your collection is less a concern for someone like me. But everybody's different. Zaku, do you review Figma? I'm new to the channel. Well, welcome to the channel, and no, I don't review Figma stuff. I prefer to just build stuff myself, so like figures, Figma, things along those lines. I usually don't review. I have reviewed a couple of different Gundam figures and things like that, but most everything is like stuff that can actually be built. So are these parts the same? C6, no, they are slightly different. No, yeah, they're different. Let's see, there was another comment here that I missed, wasn't there? Dan just says, so far I've sent them the HG Revive Goof and the MG Gym Sniper 2 to probe around for grade and scale they might be comfortable with, considering getting an RE kit next. Yeah, try an RE kit. If you want recommendations, what would I recommend for an RE kit? What would be a good RE kit? I don't know. I'm kind of like my immediate answer. I kind of want to say the gun cannon detector for like an RE kit to like recommend to your friend to try, because it seems kind of like maybe that's a design that someone who's not into Gundam stuff could also appreciate a little bit, just because it's just like a big sort of generic like robot. It doesn't necessarily look like something super like out of Gundam necessarily, but it's just like a big robot with big guns. So maybe that would be a good one. The gun cannon detector. What's another? I'm also just like drawing a blank on some other RE100 kits. The Zaku FZ is fine, yes. I'm not sure, how exciting that would be to someone who's not into Gundam though. It's because it's a little bit plain, I don't know. Some people, I have heard people that like just really got into Gunpla because they fell in love with the Zaku or something like that along those lines. So that could happen. Guneasy is good too, yeah, but the Guneasy is really small. I feel like one of the little bit larger ones would probably be more fun. Not the Hama Hama, because the Hama Hama is like a little wobbly. Let me just refresh my memory. I'm sure there's something that I'm forgetting, just because I would just want to check Dalong here. Let's see. The GPO4 would be another good one, yeah. GPO4, but I don't know. Yeah, I think the gun cannon detector would be a good RE that I would recommend for you. I think that'd be cool. The DJ, possibly as well. That's also one of the best ones, I think. The Bawu also pretty good, but it's a little bit more like stylistic that I don't know if everyone would be into. The Ifrit also would be good. I would say go for the gun cannon detector or the Ifrit, possibly. Gojira asks, what's your favorite music? I saw, who was that? iDubbbz. Ian did a video. I think it's a fairly recent video. I'm not sure exactly. I watched the video recently, but I don't know when it actually came out. When he made it. I think he made it recently though. But iDubbbz, recently or not, did a video about being asked about your favorite type. I very much agree with his take on that. I don't like being asked what my favorite type of music is, or like what kind of music I listen to, or like what are some of my favorite bands, because it's just a uncomfortable question. I'm not like saying like, oh, don't ask me that. But I mean, watch his video. He explained it really well. I don't remember what the video is called, but I'm sure you guys can find it. And I think it is a pretty recent one, so if you just check out iDubbbz channel. His video about why he doesn't like being asked about his taste in music pretty much summed it up for me. I think people can make strong opinions if you tell them the wrong music. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why it's kind of an awkward question. Truthfully, most of what I listen to is either different kinds of rap and hip hop, or like hardcore, post-hardcore kind of stuff from like the 2000s. Yeah, Converge is one of my favorite bands, of course. But aside from those two kind of main sources of music that I listen to, I do listen to a handful of a lot of other stuff as well. Also, like a good amount of instrumental stuff. I don't know, American bands. Are they American, or actually maybe they're not American? But like Page Lost. I don't know if actually they're American or not. I don't remember. I think they're not actually. And then like other Japanese bands like Mono. Envy is not instrumental, but another Japanese band. One of my favorite bands is Rin Toshite Shigure. It's a Japanese band, and they're not just one of my favorite Japanese bands, but just one of my. So a lot of different stuff. Did you know that Envy put out an album in 2020? They still have amazing early 2000s. I think I do remember seeing something that they were coming out with an album just recently, yes. But I am sure I have not heard it yet. That's the thing too, is that I haven't kept up with any new music in years. So any of these bands that I'm mentioning, I have no idea what they're doing recently, except Converge. Converge is one of the few bands that I keep up with all their new material as well too. I'm just lazy. Have you liked a single old Gunpla yet? Toe is another good one, yeah. I haven't listened to them in a while, actually. I did have a couple of albums. But I think they're not on my phone and not on my MP3 player, which is also a phone. In my car, my old phone. I just use it as an MP3 player in my car now, basically. But yeah, my Toe albums are stored on a hard drive. And they're not on either of my main music playing devices, so that's why I haven't listened to it in a while. But yeah, Toe is also good. What are your thoughts on Kakarot197 as a YouTuber? He's cool. I like this. I mean, I like that he kind of has like his niche of stuff that he does. He does like his reviews and stuff too, which are like very informative about like the lore, and then he has his like straight up lore informative videos as well too. So I like that he, you know, like has his own thing that he does instead of doing like, you know, people do things differently. So I like that about him. I've talked with him a little bit, not a lot, especially when he, I don't know if he's still living in Japan. I think he is, but especially when he first moved to Japan, I talked to him a lot for a brief time then, because we were talking about living in Japan and stuff. I think like I don't know if I was necessarily like giving him advice necessarily, or just sharing our thoughts and experiences about that, but I haven't talked to him in a while. Will we get another RG this year? Sebastian, yes. We will, as far as I know, get another RG later on this year. Yes. Towards the end of the year, as far as I know. Thoughts on thoughts? Well, Tars, I'm glad you asked, because I've got some thoughts on that subject, actually. I appreciate the break there. His lore videos and reviews are some of my favorite content. Yeah, I mean, it's great. Personally, like, I don't really care that much about like lore and stuff. I just enjoy the models. But I do enjoy his videos as well too. I don't watch them all the time, but they usually pop up in my recommended, and you know, I don't watch every single one that comes out, but when I do, yeah, they're cool videos. Oops, don't lose that. I've said this before at other times, and I'm sure this goes for like a lot of YouTubers, and not only just in Gunpla, but in like every genre, is that I don't really watch a lot of Gunpla related content on YouTube. And I'm sure it's probably the same for a lot of people. As for like gaming content creators, I'm sure they probably don't watch much gaming content, or like beauty supply content creators. They probably don't watch a lot of the same content that they create. I'd say that's probably a safe guess. Do you like Instagram and Facebook? I mean, not sure how you would define, do I like them? I use them. Don't use Instagram all that much, really. But yeah, I use them. And these pieces don't feel like they're fully connected in there, but they also feel like they are, so I guess they're connected well enough anyway. I'm wondering if maybe that's the wrong piece. Maybe the left and right side are very slightly different, or I've just got this piece very slightly misaligned. Let's see, D1 and the other one is D2. So let me see, maybe I've got the wrong one on there, because they look almost the same, but maybe they're not. Maybe that's why this seems to be not quite fitting quite right. Can you make a Q&A video? Well, yes, I've been thinking about doing that, even though every time I do live streams, it's basically like a Q&A video, because that's basically what I'm doing, is just answering questions from you guys. So I don't know if doing a straight up Q&A video would be all that much different from just how I usually do my live streams. But yeah, some people have I've gotten a couple of requests for doing a Q&A video recently, so I suppose I probably will do one in the near future. Yeah, that does fit a lot better. So I did have the wrong piece. Oops. Okay. So be careful with that front shin piece. They're very slightly different, the left and the right. Okay. Yeah, can you, let's see. Imagine a PG Ava unit. Jesus, there is a PG Ava. It was the first PG, yeah. Any of you guys ever built it? I always, like, when I was younger, I always kind of wanted it because I was an Evangelion fan. But it's one of those where I'm glad that I never actually got it, because now that I'm a little more experienced, I don't think, as far as I've heard, it's just not a very good kit. Like, it's alright, but I don't think I would have been very satisfied with it. Can't get over the Rick DJ being a thing. It's a space DJ, but it feels off. Ava Unit 1 was the first. Okay, Zach, will you have time to play Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Boost on PS4? No, I don't play any Gundam games, sorry to say, other than the mobile game. What's the name of it? Gundam Battle, Gunpla Battle Gundam Warfare? What is it? Yeah, that one. That's the only, not only the only Gundam game, but it's the only game in general that I play. I just don't really have time. I suppose I could make more time to play games, but then I would have less time to build Gunpla, so that's no fun. Oops. It's got those cool shoes. Oh, is there... another small little piece that I'm missing? And it's another one that I'm sure I cut out from that color runner. So it's the A7. Tiny little green part. Where did it go? Did I not cut those parts out? I surely must have. Well, it's not here. There's supposed to be two of them for the back side of the ankle, and I can't seem to find either of them. And Whew. Fortunately, I haven't thrown the runner away yet, because the parts are right here on the runner. I forgot to cut them off. Oops. Man. That's handy. My nippers are over there, though. Ugh. Always double check you've got everything cut off the runner before you throw them out. That could have been a disaster. Actually, I think the ankle armor will stay on without that, but it's gonna stay on, yeah, like, well, not really, actually. It's way too loose. So you definitely do need this little part on the back of the ankle there. So that fits in to the back of there. In there. Then we can pop this onto here, but let's see. Come on. Pop, there we go. This into here, and this onto here. And he's getting pretty tall. boy. And I mean, but like pretty solid. And as you can see, like the articulation is pretty good. It's a full bend there at the leg. So, and the articulation, you know, I was wondering how this was going to compare to the RG, but at the moment, the articulation of this seems pretty dang good. It does seem like maybe it's going to be more prone to loosening over time. I can certainly see that happening, but at least for the moment, it seems alright. Eventually I'm going to kit bash my RE100 DJ with, I don't know, a Gelgoog. Kit bashing a DJ, you know, that is, the DJ is such a odd design already. I think it's one that you can kit bash pretty easily, or you can kit bash it with a number of different things and it would look pretty cool. That's what I mean. This is random, but does anyone else have an earworm for no reason right now? I'm just started thinking of. I thought you actually meant like an actual like earworm like thing, like something was in your ear. You're talking about like just a song in your head, right? I've never heard it described like that. I don't think. That's weird. Are those called earworms when you have a song stuck in your head? I did not know that. The DJ is already a not Gelgoog. Yes, exactly. Alright, PCB. Let's get this other leg done. We just got basically a couple parts for like the rifle and knife. That's pretty much it. So almost done here. This polycap in straight. There you go. And our knee part as well. Like that. And this part here for the front. Here. That will fit into the thigh. PCK here. Another one here. Easier to put it on this side first. Can you watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I could. I'm not going to though. The RG Ava Unit 1 is a nice build and a beast of hosability. Year 2020 is the year of RG Avas. 4 already confirmed out. Yeah, they really like putting them all out at once. But it's cool like that they're able to put them all out like in the same year and just kind of, rather than drawing it out over years of Ava releases, just 1 year, all the Avas, and then, you know, they're just on to something else. And then PCH. There's a little fruit fly or something that's flying around. It's really bothering me. Keep seeing it. It keeps like flying near me, and it's like flying in the corner of my vision there. Alright. go. That's much better. And the foot. Eva fans have enough long hiatus in their life. Something they share with Berserk fans. Yeah, that's another good point about not having to wait for the kit releases. We've already waited, and have been waiting for so long for all the movies and stuff. So it's nice to not have to wait for something. I know. Oops. But I'm looking forward to the fourth movie. I'm sure the same thing is going to happen that's happened with the second movie and the third movie in the Rebuild series, is in that I'm not going to like it at first, but then after seeing it a couple times, I'm going to like it a lot more. But yeah, Harris, to answer your question, yeah, the original series I love, and the Rebuild movies I love. But yeah, like the first one was great because it was a thing, and it was great. And then the second and third one were like, oh, this is a totally different thing apparently. And then you're like, aha, I get the thing. And then I was like on board with the Rebuild movies, the second and third one, a lot more after seeing them a couple times. There we go. Tall Man is done. I'll give you guys a look at that better here in a moment. Let me just also put these accessory weapons together as well. I don't like the ending. Cody didn't like the ending, as in like end of Evangelion, the movie? Let's see, okay, for the knife, that one's just like that. Here, those go. And take a look at this effect part. You guys will see it more later, but just while we're here, prepared to have your minds blown by the look of that effect part. The way that lights up is pretty wild. It's like in the light, pretty cool for the effect part there. All right, and see, for the umbilical cable, it's very simple. Just those two pieces together. Just plug the wire into there, and oops, no, actually, oh, not as simple as I thought. I just like quickly glanced at the manual. It's like the manual shows to put the wire in first and then to close it up. But I thought, well, it looks like you can just put it together without putting the wire in first. But nope. Do you know if Bandai stopped reproducing the Gundam Front Tokyo exclusive kits once they opened the Gundam base Tokyo, or did they? Huh? Do you know if Bandai stopped reproducing Gundam? Okay, sorry. I get what you're saying. Once they rebranded it to Gundam Base Tokyo, I'm not sure. I would imagine probably because they're like out in waves, right? So like if it's a kit that originally came out as a Gundam Front Tokyo exclusive and they wanted to make it available again, then they would probably just change the branding on it, yeah, to just say Gundam Base Tokyo on it instead. They would have to redesign the box art a little bit, but that's pretty simple, I suppose. but I'm not sure actually. We got a little action-based connector in there as well, so that's pretty cool. For the rifle, it's just put these two pieces together, and you're done. And then for the progressive knife, why you gotta be a progressive? Bernie Sanders AOC loving knife over here. There you go. Anyway, so you got a two-tone knife and these stickers, which I think are meant to go on the hands, which I missed somewhere along the way, but I'm probably not going to bother with that because, like with the RG, I'm pretty certain. Yeah. Oh. So some stickers go on the thumbs and on the front of the fingers. Well, I'll put on a couple of them just to see how they look. But like with the RG, I'm sure they're not going to stay on for very long. So put these stickers on now and then say goodbye. Yeah, these hands just don't want to stay together at all. Plus these stickers are just like not the right size and don't really fit on there very well. They're a little bit too large. But I'll try them just here on the open hands, at least for the time being. I'm sure they'll come off over the course of the review, so. Here's that. Yep. Alright, there we go. Okay, so that's a wrap on the Eva. Let me swap around the camera here so you guys can get a better look at that. Hello. Move this out of the way. And let me adjust this here for you guys on autofocus. Here it is, and yeah, it's pretty tall, definitely larger than the RG. Like I said, I have not built this RG yet, but just because compared to the RG Unit 0, I can tell it's definitely larger. Which way? Sorry. Oh no! My camera fell down too. My camera is on a arm here, which has a C-clamp to clamp it to the edge of a table. But the problem is that this table has like an angled edge on it, so it kind of like just barely holds on. Anyway, here be the Eva, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think like the articulation is quite impressive actually. It's better than I expected. The arm, I think, is going to be an issue. I wish that they would have just not bothered with the rubber and just made it just like how they made the leg. Just a regular joint is fine. The hands fall apart constantly. But other than that, the articulation is quite good. Doesn't have a ton of detail on it. But let's just do a little pose here. Oops. And the foot also popping apart. Doesn't feel very solid of a kit overall. There's a lot of sections. Like while the articulation is good and everything, I can feel there's a lot of sections that just feel like they're right on the verge of already being a little bit too loose. So there you go. He can kneel and all that. So yeah, it's cool. I'll work on the review either this afternoon or tomorrow and have that out for you guys soon. And then probably the RG will do a live stream build of probably beginning of next week. I'll try to have it ready probably on Monday, but if not, it'll maybe be on Tuesday. So thanks for hanging out, guys, watching the live stream build here of the Eva Unit 1 HG kit and his hands that don't want to stay together, but it's a pretty cool kit. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of the day, evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is there, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye guys.